Coming up on today's show, we take a look back at all the action from the past weekend as Leicester and Everton both look to jumpstart their season. Manchester City's good form continues. They've won 9 of the first 10 league games. Brilliant. And we also preview tonight's matchup as Newcastle, they go to Burnley. All that and more, much more, coming up next. Welcome to SportNation. We're looking back on another exciting Premiership weekend. We're not finished. We'll get tonight. We'll come to that later. But let's kick off, guys. United Spurs. Personally, I was expecting a bit more, to be honest. It was a bit of a stalemate. United get the breakthrough, and of course we hear today Josie giving a shh with his fingers, his mouth. Shh. Now, who was he aiming that? To the United fans that were giving Lukaku a little bit of stick for being lazy, or when he brought Martial on, there was a few boos. So he's clearly unhappy, Josie. I
think you could have pretty much predicted exactly how that game was going to go.
Like, we did, didn't we?
I think we said it's probably going to be a bit of a dud game.
Dele Alli, glorious opportunity.
He's going to have nightmares about that, yeah. And then Man United score again in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't it? They've scored 10 goals in the last 10 minutes now, which accounts for 43% of their total goals.
United started well, Tottenham struggled, but then Tottenham got into a little rhythm, kept the ball well, didn't they?
Yeah, but I mean, United's game plan kind of pretty much worked. They were going to basically park the bus and then hit them on the counter, and they got a bit lucky with the crap bit of defending from Tottenham. But
it was naive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, not round and cover. 2 good players, international players. One flick on beats them both. Yeah. Not good. So where does that leave Spurs now? Are they out of the Premiership?
I think they're out of the race for the. Not for obviously for top 4.
No, to win it.
Top 4, but yeah, I mean to win it, unless something goes drastically wrong for both Manchester clubs, it's going to go one of them, isn't it?
And of course, looking ahead to this next weekend, what a weekend! United go to Chelsea, City go to Arsenal.
Could all change. Could all change. You know, if United lose and City lose, you never know.
Well, I hope so. So what we're saying is United just about deserved it.
I think so, yeah.
I think they did, but both teams didn't play very well, did they? So that's not very encouraging for.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't want to talk too much about Champions League, but Kane, do they risk him? They didn't risk him against United. It's a hamstring problem. We've all had hamstrings. I wonder will they risk him against Real Madrid?
They have to.
I think, fingers crossed, he'll be all right. I think hopefully he'll be there.
Yeah. Okay, second game. Arsenal, I must admit, I went for 2-0, 3-0 Arsenal. In the end, 2-1. And at 2-1, even if you're dominant, there's always a chance Swansea can get back in it. Was this a good display or not?
They made hard work of it, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't it the first shot that Swansea had went in?
And then they could have been 2-0 down a few minutes later.
Yeah.
So they were lucky to kind of still be in the game. And then obviously they pulled it back around. So it's a good performance in that respect, you know, coming from behind and winning.
But they should have kept a clean sheet there.
What about Swansea then? How much, because you can pick 6 teams still at the bottom. Swansea are going to be fighting for their lives, aren't they?
Yeah.
Come April. They're going to be fighting for their lives.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be there with Bournemouth.
Everton?
What?
At the moment, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. You would not be thinking that at the beginning of the season, would you? But
I mean, we kept saying Brighton. I still think Brighton will be down there, but at the moment they're doing so well.
But they're playing with a lot of character. They're playing for Chris Hughton, aren't they? Stadium's great excitement, you know, full houses. They're playing with spirit. Can they continue that? And that was a good South Coast derby. They could have wilted, but they came back. We'll come to that in a moment as well. So they could be at the bottom. I thought all 3 coming up might have a problem, but Newcastle may be the exception.
Yeah.
Because Rafa's got them organised. He's got them playing to their strength. So maybe with the exception of Newcastle, the 2 others plus another 3 or 4. It's going to be interesting. But good point. Okay, Palace West Ham. If you're a West Ham fan, turn off. It was a nightmare, wasn't it? You know, they go in front, they get second. You think, but you know that game against Spurs has just given them the confidence they need. They're going to be fine now. They tell me this morning as we speak, Bilic will be talking to his board. So we don't know if he's going to still be in a job, but he was devastated. The 7th minute of extra time, 97th minute, is that right?
And it was so poor because they had the ball in the corner, Didn't need to do anything. Don't need to cross it. Just
It's
hold it
Antonio,
there.
wasn't
yeah,
it?
Just hold it there.
Naive again, yeah.
Crosses it into like with one player in the box, go straight to keeper, down the other end, and score.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's the golden rule. How many times have you watched a football game? You might have had a little bet on, or it might be your team. You're ahead. Sorry, you're one behind, and the opposition have the ball in the corner, and they're obstructing you, and you just want to volley
You
them.
just
don't
go
you?
and smash them.
You do. You want to smash right through them. Get out of the way.
Yeah,
That's all he's got to do,
exactly.
isn't it? That's all he has to do.
rookie.
That was, that could be a defining moment in the two clubs' Premier League status this season.
Very true.
West Ham win that,
On
they
a
go
roll.
on. Palace get beat, they're back to square one again. You know what I mean? Suddenly, Palace have got a lift, whereas
Yeah.
West Ham walk off as if they've had a defeat.
Well, Palace from that are going to be so buoyant now, because you can see like the fight was still there all the way through. But fair play to Palace, they're still trying right at the end. Zaha makes such a difference.
He made something out of completely nothing. He was
Yeah.
going down a dead end,
I know.
turn around, somehow put it bottom
Yeah.
right.
No, he's got a bit of aggression about him now. We know he's pacey, we know he's got quick feet, and he's scoring goals. So, while he's about, Palace have got a chance of survival.
I think he's taken it on himself to kind of get them out of the trouble. Like,
Yeah.
like he's really grabbing it.
West
by the
Ham, what are they going to do? Will they buy again in January, do you think? Last year was a disaster, the signings, and this year it's not working either.
Oh, I think they need to get some personnel in there, because at the moment it's just like it's not really coming to anything. It's not like they haven't got someone who can grab the game by the scruff of the neck and go and fight for them. I mean, Antonio should be that, but he's not doing it really at the
No.
moment.
So, a great point in the end for Palace. Liverpool, Huddersfield, this surprised me because I thought Huddersfield had been organised, they played with spirit. For me, they never turned up at Anfield.
Yeah, it's a shame because we said Huddersfield either half, we fancied it, but Liverpool just came out and never
The
looked.
class from through, didn't it? I mean, they missed the penalty as well.
Yeah,
Could have been more than 3.
One thing with Anfield, when you go there and you walk down them steps and you look up, this is Anfield, in my day, we thought we're playing the referee as well, because the noise of the crowd was unbelievable. The ref, anything like penalty,
Right,
the
yeah.
sway from the cop, the ref would normally point to the spot, but they got the penalty, they missed it. They've got to make that a fortress, they really have. So maybe, just maybe, Klopp was much more upbeat about this performance, but I was disappointed. I thought Huddersfield, one thing you have to do at Anfield, you have to roll your sleeves up, you have to battle, you have to be organised, you have to park the bus, you have to fight for every ball. And hopefully the crowd start, not turning on them, but the crowd start getting a little bit, come on. And that's the only way to do it. But that never happened. So I was disappointed by Huddersfield.
I think Huddersfield, they're going to need their home form to keep them up, their high club, because they've failed to score in the last 4 away games now. So they need to start picking up points.
Yeah. So next game, they are turning into be my bogey team, Watford. Every time I tip them, they let me down. Every time I fancy them away from home, they do well. Stoke, we spoke about managers under pressure, didn't we? And Mark Hughes was one of them at Stoke City. Sold a couple of players. Shawcroft was back. That was a big bonus. But I really thought Watford would have too much of them.
So did I. Yeah.
That killed all my bets out the window.
Yeah.
Same. Stoke had, before that game, they had the worst start to any Premier League season that they've ever had, I think it was. So, and Watford have had one of the best.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a
was
banana
a
skin.
complete banana skin.
Yeah.
So what about the two sides? Watford are not going to go down, are they?
No.
Stoke, you'd imagine, a little bit of confidence. Mark will, galvanise them. So I think they're both sort of middle to just behind bottom of the table. The bottom half, without being in danger come the end of the season.
I think Watford will be still.
I think Watford
up
could
there.
be
Like-
10th or 11th.
Yeah.
Like they're borderline top
Yeah.
of the table bottom. I think Stoke will be 15th.
But when you can't beat struggling sides at home, that is a problem. I know they've got pace. I know away from home, sometimes
true.
in the counter, but they're going to have to start winning games.
They
at
did
home.
get chances again. Like that Richarlison again was getting through, but apparently they didn't get one shot on target in the whole game, even though they had the chances. They were there.
What's your thoughts
Stuck in
on
them.
Deeney? You see that?
Oh, he's a monster. He's a monster.
Well, he might
He'll
get
get in
3
trouble for
matches.
that.
I
Yeah.
think he'll get 1.
Well, he should have been sent off.
Well, they're saying it's a gouge. He had him by the throat, didn't he?
Both
But
hands. Both hands at one point.
But not, yeah.
That's the rule, isn't it? If you raise your hands to someone's face, then that's a sending off. Is it not?
Proper
but
squeeze them.
I don't want to see him get 3. I don't. I think one.
Yeah.
He's lucky not to get a red card though, wasn't
But
he?
he's just. Why would you
He
start
lost
on
his
Troy
aim.
Junior? Like he was just laughing and pushing about 3 players
Yeah.
back, walking.
The first person came over, he knocked him out.
Yeah, he went straight down. Yeah, it's funny.
Oh,
So City, on to Man City now, away from home. West Brom, another team that have been struggling. We know they're organised, we know they're good set pieces. But City, I thought were going to go on and absolutely batter them. But West Brom showed a bit of character, didn't
Yeah.
they? So, you know, City will walk away from this. It's a hard place to go, the Hawthorns. They'll walk away with 3 points. They've got a 5-point gap, so they'll be pleased. But I think West Brom fans will be saying, at least we had a goal this week.
Yeah, there'll be other teams thinking we might be able to go and do a bit. Like if they're conceding goals against West Brom, they're not invincible, are they? So, yeah, I mean it's promising for everyone else, but still, if you're going to win the league, you go and grind out results by 1 goal margin at West Brom.
Yeah, and then of course City, they've got the Arsenal, they've got Champions League as well. So it's a big week for City, isn't it?
They've got that depth though to be able to get through that.
Yeah.
I think that's their massive plus is, you know, they've got that good rotation and they've got ridiculous players on the bench. So I don't think it'll be too much of a struggle.
So who's City's danger now? Is it United? Or are Chelsea going to find consistency? Or Arsenal, are they going to come in a run?
I think it's going to be Man U.
It's going to be, but
But I mean, every single game in the Premier League, you can't take your foot off the pedal for 1 week. Because otherwise someone else is back in it. So, but they're unbeaten in 21 games now.
Yeah.
Best start to a season they've ever had. At the moment, they're not putting a foot wrong.
No, there's some side. There's no. I keep thinking they're going to hit a sticky patch, a sticky spell. But I look at the depth they've got. You mentioned depth earlier, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah. I think there probably will be a result coming up, which is a complete banana skin out of nowhere. It'll be like.
But we said this
Bournemouth.
weekend's great. You know,
So I don't know, yeah.
this weekend if City go and win, and the likes of I don't know if Arsenal, if it's a draw, Chelsea, Man United, if that's a draw and City win, I think it's have your house on City.
Yeah.
unless complacency creeps in and it's just too easy, and then they suddenly kind of lose focus, and then they might slip up and get a draw against like a Bournemouth or.
And down at the bridge, Josie goes home. Do you think it's part of the bus again?
Desperate to win that, though.
Yeah.
Will he?
Yeah.
I think
I think
it's
it'll be
at a
similar.
point now.
Yeah, I think it'll be a similar one where it's just not much going on, won by 1 goal probably in the
1-0
last 10
Lukaku.
minutes. Yeah.
1-0
1-0 either way.
Exactly.
Tottenham Chelsea. Chelsea went to Bournemouth, didn't they? Again, I went for Chelsea win. 2 or 3 I went for. Hazard got the goal, but Bournemouth, you know, they didn't collapse, did they?
No, I mean, I think that was a lot tighter than what we thought. It wasn't even like Chelsea were battering them and they weren't scoring. It was actually tight. And Hazard was the difference. Scored 3 and 3 now.
Good finish.
Yeah, very good finish. Morata did score, but it was disallowed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So could have been 2.
But again, you know, I keep going back to City. You know, if Jesus not doing it, you know, you've got Aguero there. If Tottenham lose Harry, if Lukaku's lost, maybe United have got something to come in. Harry Kane not there. Morata. Do you know what I mean? There is a distinct lack of top quality strikers. They might have 1, but there's not 2 and 3. So again, I think City hold all the cards. I really do. So Bournemouth, will they survive, or are they going to be? Again, is it a home form for them? They've lost this one.
They're going to scrap to stay up. I think.
Yeah.
I think they will, but it's going to be a tough season for Bournemouth, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, on to the South Coast Derby, with Southampton taking the lead off the bar. Davis knocks in, but Brighton showing a bit of character. We touched on Brighton earlier. They're organised, they're showing character. It was a great atmosphere down there. Was a draw fair, or were they holding on towards the end?
Well, I think who was it? Pellegrini was saying Southampton just not killing teams off, and that's what's going to cost. Like Southampton actually deserve to be in the relegation battle for the way that they're playing, and the fact that they are so blunt up top, they can't score goals. Where if you compare them to like Bournemouth, I think Bournemouth deserve more to stay up than someone like Southampton. So Brighton are again one of those teams where the home form's going to keep them up, but if Southampton stay up easily, I think they've got away with it, because I don't like the way they're playing.
No.
Don't like it.
That's the last 2-3 seasons, isn't it? So we're suggesting then Southampton will be fine. Brighton will have to fight and scrap home form. On to Leicester. We talked about Southampton. Poyet was at Southampton. He comes away, gets the Leicester job. We were a little bit concerned. Thought, really, a Leicester fan? Well, the atmosphere was great last night. They were at it. You know, those clapper things. And Everton under David Unsworth. I thought Everton won. They should have had a penalty. I was going to say they weren't in it first half, but there was a penalty shout. For me, that's a penalty all day long on Lennon.
Yeah.
The referees missed it. But, you know, Leicester, Vardy, what a goal that was. Great movement.
Yeah.
Fantastic, wasn't it?
Damari
Brilliant skills.
We've been saying it for a while, haven't we? Like, Damari Gray is a great player. So, like,
Pace, skills, confident.
But hopefully he starts breaking through now. Like, that's his second start, I think it was, this season. He scored one because he ended up getting the goal that was deflected, and he set up one. So hopefully we see more of it.
Everton.
Free fall.
Is it possible? So he's talking about, David's talking about, he played like away from home against Leicester. He played too wide. He brought Lennon in, and I'm thinking, don't play too wide away from home. This is too important a game. Half time he takes him off. What does that do for the confidence? Do you know what I mean? What does that do for players' confidence at half time? You two are off. We're changing this. And then he takes Rooney off, who was possibly their best player. So was that him, you know, was that him saying, hey, I know what I'm doing here, I'm in charge? Well, that's 2 games, 2 losses.
Yeah, I think it
Right
seems more the other way. Yeah. It's more like, I actually don't know what I'm doing here. I'm having to change things around at half time.
I thought it was a statement, especially with Rooney. I thought, no, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And they've got Lyon weekend, towards the end of the week. I think they'll lose in Lyon. I think they'll lose in France.
They're going to get pumped, I reckon.
So I think they're going to have to move and move fast.
Yeah.
I do. Let's have a little look at the table. So, again, good start for Leicester, good start for Poyet. And we can see the table now. Let's look at the top. You can see City stretching the lead 5 points to Manchester United. Tottenham 8 points behind now. Chelsea, Arsenal level. So there's no surprise that's the top 6, is there, guys?
No.
Kind of how we called it at the beginning.
We could have definitely called that. I think that 4th place is just going to be a scrap. I don't know if Chelsea are going to hold on to that 4th place, do you?
I mean, I personally think they will, but I think you're right. I think it's going to go to the wire, and it's like last year.
Yeah.
But I think the top 2 are going to be United and City.
That's the fight. You think that'll be the fight?
Yeah. I think Spurs will do a late charge, but I think it will be between Spurs and
nothing
United
below Liverpool. Look, they're the 16th. They're just 3 behind Arsenal and 3 behind Chelsea. They'll feel. I was talking today on radio about January. This is a World Cup year. I don't think there's going to be any big signings in January. Do you know what I mean? Because the World Cup's coming. Players don't want to move before a World Cup. They don't. So I'm not sure there's going to be any sensational moves.
Yeah. No. I mean,
and you've got Champions League as well, cup tied. So a lot of the big players will be in that.
We'll see. We were adamant that there was going to be a few moves because when this transfer deadline happened, there was a few that were outstanding that we were like, well, they're definitely going to go in January. Yeah. Mahrez was one of them. But now, I don't know if they will, unless it's already lined up to happen.
Yeah. Okay, tonight we've got one more. Burnley against Newcastle. Sean Dyche, we're talking about Everton might have to change it, and change it soon. Now he's the man who's been mentioned. Sam Allardyce and Dyche. Moyes is a bit of mention, take him back, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it will be between Sean. He's failed to rule it out, has he?
Yeah.
That he's that wouldn't excite him. Everton. Sam Allardyce, I know, could keep Everton up because in there. So it'd be interesting to see. So tonight, Newcastle, Rafa brings them down. It's a tricky one to call here. I was going to go a draw, 1-1 draw, but I don't know. Can Burnley nick this, guys?
I would go correct score. I'd go 1-0 Burnley. I think it would be a second half.
Is Wood still injured though?
Maybe Vokes might play. I don't know, but there's never that many goals. It might be a really good game. Both of these teams are doing so well at the moment. And if Sean Dyche did go, that would be a big shame for Burnley.
Yeah.
They want to do everything to keep him there.
And Newcastle, we don't know really Amanda Stavely, you know, from United Arab Emirates. We don't know if that's going to happen. Is the takeover going to happen at Newcastle? Ashley definitely wants out now. Will that tempt Rafa to stay with a chance to really get involved with the board, the new board? Will he have money to spend in January should he need it? So they'll be looking to keep the they'll be looking to keep their good record away. But if you look at Burnley's stats, unbeaten in each of the last 8 league meetings between Burnley and Newcastle, 5 wins, 3 draws. And you look at Newcastle, but they have got Rafa. So I'm going to go 1-1, but I can definitely see Burnley nicking it.
Yeah, I mean,
I've got the Rafa feeling, so that's why I'm saying they can get. If it wasn't Rafa, I'd say Burnley will nick this one.
I just really like Burnley's defence. Ben Mee and Tarkowski, the best defensive duo in the league for duels won and shots blocked. They're throwing their body on the line, which is why Burnley aren't conceding many goals. So I think under 2.5 goals is safe, but I think it'll be 1-0 either way.
1-0 either way?
I'm going 1-0.
1-0, yeah. It's a difficult one, but from a Newcastle point of view, I think they'll take that. I think they'll take a point anywhere they go, and hopefully win a few at home. Whereas Burnley just simply want to stay in the Premier.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's having a look back and looking ahead to tonight, of course. Looking forward to next weekend, Premiership. Looking back, of course, on Champions League as well. That was Sport Nation. I hope you enjoyed it. That will be a great week coming up in it this week. Brilliant.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the videos, don't forget to subscribe for more. And for that extra sporting fix, check out our website for more great info, betting tips and exclusive offers on sportnation.com.